Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. After the showcase around EZA transforming Gogeta Blue, you knew I had to take him straight into Red Zone, and we're starting off against Omega. And honestly, I said it was close. It's still quite a tight one. I said it was close, but transforming Gogeta Blue, definitely better than EZA transforming Cooler. Said it was close. I'm not saying it's like a landslide or anything, but it's a bit further apart than I initially first thought. Like, he is ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. Even pre-transformation, I thought during SSJ, he may take a little bit of damage here and there. No. You know, once he super attacks once, he's tanking double digits on basics, literally this phase. If we manage to get to the second phase quick enough because of the type advantage, that would probably be the same premise there as well. You know, the 50% chance to dodge, even pre-transformation in SSJ, again, very handy. Any super attacks that come his way, he could potentially dodge them. Yes, it's only a coin flip chance rather than the 70% chance you get once he transforms into blue. But still, if RNG and luck is on your side, and you know it lands on heads or tails, whatever you would pick, that 50% chance goes your way. He could dodge a whole super attack, take no damage, literally one super attack during SSJ, and that's all he needs to be able to tank double digits on basics, which is fantastic, considering you have to wait till turn 4. Like, yes, that's still good, that's still decent transformation conditions, and the change is still very much welcome. You know, that's still turn 4 before he gets, you know, the 50% attack and defense raise for 4 turns, which is huge for giving him a plethora of defense, the 70% chance to dodge, you know, things like that. But even without it, he still performs incredibly well. And that 50% chance to dodge is still a massive help, combined with the fact once he super attacks during SSJ, he still has very good and solid defense to be able to tank Red Zone bosses basics for double digits while being able to dodge as well. So I did have him linked up with Birdku on this run, just because of course we couldn't bring Godku with us because we're not facing a pure or movie boss enemy, or pure Saiyan or movie boss enemy, and it was a good link up. You know, once he transforms, yes, he does get Warrior Gods, which is a massive attack link for helping him do extra damage. Not that he doesn't do damage already, like his damage output is insane. That built-in crit once he's in blue, honestly, just the amount of damage he's doing to enemy health bars is generally up there with some of the best. But linked up with Birdku, it's another amazing slot 1 unit in replace of another one. Like, Birdku's stacking, they link very well together. I said the only qualm, which is nitpicking, is the fact that you can't get Warrior Gods active at all times with Birdku, where of course you can with Godku, which means he loses out on a little bit of extra attack. Even then, he's still putting out good damage, but to be fair, we did have the Year 7 Gods floating, both of them floating, so every now and then we was getting Warrior Gods active, so it's not like we were completely missing out on it, you know, the entire run. We were still getting it active just every other turn, and he's still done the job. He still performed very well. The change to his transformation conditions, honestly, love them. You know, literally a lot of the Red Zone bosses you're going to be facing, the early phase either doesn't do that much damage where you have to worry about Gogeta, or, for example, in Cooler Core's case, when you start off against Cooler Army, you're there for 3 turns guaranteed anyway, so when you really need him to be blue, where you need that extra, you know, 50% attack and defense raise for 4 turns on the super attack effect, the 70% chance to dodge, by the time you get into Cooler Core, he's going to be transformed into blue anyway, because the 4th turn he comes back around on, he's going to transform immediately when you need him to. And then against Omega Shenron, you know, the early phase doesn't really do that much damage, and SSJ is enough to cope with it. When you need a little bit more, or you want to start doing an extra bit of damage, and because of the type of fight, you could probably still use him in SSJ on this phase, but when you would need it a bit more, he's going to be transforming into blue against this phase anyway, where Omega starts getting more difficult. And the same thing could be said to Broly, considering he's one of the longer Red Zone bosses in Dokkan with the amount of phases he does have. I put him in slot 1 just to see how much he was going to tank with without super attacking yet, without building up in the 4 turns. 70-80k, do you know what? In the grand scheme of things, that's actually not bad, considering, again, he hasn't supered yet. You need him to super to get the majority of his defense. You need him to attack to get the extra attack and defense in his passive as well. Considering he had none of that, 70-80k with type advantage, that's actually pretty good. A lot of the top units in the game, before they have any build up in their passive, even with Beast Gohan more recently, before he supers or starts building up his passive where he needs to super like what, 4 or 5 times, he's even taken that while he has guard in the first 3 turns in some of the red zone events. So him taking 70-80k with no extra attack and defense or super attacking whatsoever, and in slot 1, by the way, which kind of is and isn't for him, because if you can dodge and utilize the 70% chance to dodge, he can actually go in slot 1. It's just, of course, very, very reliant on RNG, whether or not you're going to have him survive in slot 1. But it's definitely a possibility. But yeah, with type advantage, no guard, no damage reduction, no extra attack and defense whatsoever, no, you know, 50% on super attack, because he hasn't super attack yet. 78k is not bad to be taken. Combined with the fact he has a 70% chance to dodge, and yes, he actually did dodge a couple of the basic attacks in slot 1. He can work in slot 1, which is just, it just adds to his versatility. I know it's not the most ideal and secure thing to do with Gogeta Blue, but it's still a possibility. And obviously there's a little bit less risk here, considering he does have type advantage. If he was to be super, different story, but again, he has a 70% chance to dodge the super attack anyway. But he performed exceptionally well. Of course, once he super attacks on this phase, he literally takes no damage, especially while he's building up the 50% attack and defense within the 4 turns as well. But yeah, even in slot 1, he done well. 78k is not too bad damage to take. You know, he's dodging. Once he super attacks as well, as I said, especially on the second phase against Omega, because of the type advantage, he's not going to be taking any damage. And then the more he's going to build up within those 4 turns, the potential of the additionals, he's still tanking double digits regardless. If he was to be super attacked in this phase, he would probably take next to nothing on the super. Again, mainly because of the type advantage, but also because of the 50% attack and defense raise for the 4 turns, and any additional supers you may get, that's even more defense for him. You know, you're talking 600k plus. And then combined with the fact that he can dodge as well with that massive 70% chance to dodge, once again, can dodge the super attack, you take no damage whatsoever, which is just such a useful utility tool to have. So as I said in the showcase, 600k plus defense. I said I don't know the exact numbers. I've seen like kind of things here and there from what I've seen on Twitter. But 600k plus defense with a 70% chance to dodge in red zone is enough. It is enough. And I know some of you may be like, well, you know, a lot of people aren't happy with Beast Gohan, and he has like similar-ish defense and a counter. But he has a counter against Ki Blast Supers, which, yes, a lot of the bosses do, but some bosses don't have Ki Blast Supers. So that doesn't even come into effect then. And not only that, he's a brand new LR release of a unit that everyone was hyped for, that we thought was going to be one of the best in the game. Now, I know that that's because of our high expectations, which I fully accept. That's because we thought he was going to be the best unit in the game, whereas Gogeta is an EZA. They don't make EZAs in Dokkan to constantly be the new best in the game. They just improve them. So, you know, for Gogeta to be as good as he is kind of like above expectations in this scenario. But 600k plus defense with a 70% chance to dodge, and of course, you're going to use him, or you're going to expect him to dodge or want him to dodge, obviously in the stages where he actually has the possibility to dodge. Excuse me. You know, where he actually has the possibility to dodge, because, you know, if you're taking him into a red zone event where he can't dodge, obviously you're not going to sit there and go, oh, well, he's terrible. Like, that just doesn't make sense. So having 600k plus defense and a 70% chance to dodge is very, very good, considering the majority of the time, because it's such a high chance to dodge, like UI Goku levels of dodging, we know how good he can be. Yes, if you get a little bit unlucky, he may not dodge that much, but that's just how RNG works. But the majority of the time, because it is such a high chance to dodge, because it is a 70% chance, he's going to be dodging the majority of the time. And even then, on this phase, he super attacks once or like twice. He's tanking double digits for Omega's hardest phase. So he doesn't even need to dodge, because he's out here tanking double digits on the basics anyway. And honestly, the amount of damage he's doing with the built-in crit, he's shredding enemy health bars just like LR Beast Gohan. Like, he's doing so much damage. But let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. And peace.